When I first found out about the water leak, I was actually in Ripley working for the day, and it was on Twitter. I'd just checked briefly, and there was a proclamation from Governor Tomblin that said, "Do not use the water in Charleston."
I was over at the Capitol, and I remember coming back and smelling something in the air, but not really thinking anything of it.
I was live on the air when the governor's first tweet went out, basically announcing that this had happened.
To put it very bluntly, the chemical leak into the water system in Charleston was an embarrassment for the entire state that we will feel for years and years to come.
Well, I think about this all the time. It's Charleston, West Virginia, right? What does someone in New York City care about what happens in Charleston? Maybe not much. But if something like this would have happened in New York City, the entire world would have been paying attention to it.
This was a chemical that we knew about and had been a part of the coal industry and the cleaning process for a number of years, but had not been studied very extensively. So we didn't have a lot of information from the scientific community to start with to know, what are the effects? What are the potential hazards? What should we be telling people? And not just as the media, but what should the Department of Public Health be telling people?
Now, what was surprising to me, and I think surprising to a lot of people, was how susceptible that water source was. So the spill occurs on the Elk River. The Elk River is a water source for that area because it's so clean, right? And it is surrounded by a lot of dirty water. I mean, the cost of treating the Kanawha River for drinking water is exorbitant. I mean, it's so dirty you can't afford to. But the Elk River is a very clean river, one of the cleanest in the East, actually. And so you see how dependent then we have become as a state on our few really clean, productive water sources like the Elk River.
And I think as the days wore on, everybody understood the gravity of the situation. It was a lot bigger incident than we were giving it respect.
In short, it was a mess. It was a mess. I was lucky. I had water. But that meant I was sort of ground zero for people who needed showers, who needed to fill up water bottles, for people who just kind of wanted a place where they could get away from the no water situation wherever they were and feel a sense of normalcy for a little bit. So I was very, very fortunate.
To find water, we were fortunate that we have relatives in the area that are on wells, so we could go and shower anytime that we wanted or fill up our jugs anytime that we wanted. We're also, probably a little bit better prepared than the average Joe for an incident like this. But seeing the infrastructure come into place basically for emergency water rationing was interesting, not only because no one was prepared for it, but also trying to fathom what it was like to be completely cut off, to not have an appropriate supply of drinking water, or to only have to be able to shower in a public space every couple of days if you're lucky.
It was clear almost immediately that no one was prepared for something like that to happen. Of course, we found out later, as time went on, in the coming days and weeks, what regulations did or didn't exist, what types of enforcement of the existing regulations were even being enforced. So I think that it became pretty clear pretty quickly that no one in Kanawha County or virtually anywhere in West Virginia was ready for something like that to happen.
What the chemical spill taught us is that water is extremely valuable, and we just often take it for granted because we have so much of it.